All right, for all you McCulloch fans out there, like myself, like these ProMac 1010s, 210, 110s, they got so many 10s. I got some little pass along I've been working on. Like I said, somebody maybe already have shown a video of this. I haven't seen one. So I said, I'm going to share it with somebody that's surfing YouTube tonight, may need some help with their carburetor on their McCulloch ProMac 1010s. Carburetors. I have not found an aftermarket carburetor for these saws. If they're out there, I don't know where they're at. I picked up a couple of used ones off of eBay. I've had luck with a couple of them. The throttle shafts where I wore out. Some of them, I put kits in them. They last a little while. Just had little issues here and there. But most of the time, I've had luck getting them running. But I've paid $60 and $70 for a used carburetor. So I want to try something new. Somebody that don't have a whole lot of money to spend on these things, and they can get expensive. This is the people I want to help out. Want to get it going and get it running good for a good price. $25 on Amazon. And I've kind of discovered who sells the good ones and the bad ones to stay away from. This is actually one of the Partisan carbs. I tried to get the HIPAAs, and I think the Atuni or something. I can't pronounce it, but there's a couple other ones on there. This carburetor, these carburetors run fine. I've had them in my stihls. I haven't had any issues with them. One of them, I had a gasket that was leaking. Other than that, I've had good luck with them. Matter of fact, moving on to this saw here, this is a stihl 041 carb. As we know, out here with the vintage saws, a lot of them have the external pulse. And this carburetor had the external pulse. And what I had to do to make this work, I had to cut this pulse off, JB weld it shut. And because I chose to go the route of making this carburetor an internal pulse instead of external. Because I didn't want to cut this saw up, trying to run pulse lines through the cover, and I just wanted to do it, the cleanest way. But to each his own. Somebody may want to do an external, but I'm going to show you how I did the internal. So this is the carburetor for a 041 stihl. So what I had to do is take this plate off and cut that off. And JB weld it. Flip it over. And you see here's the chamber where that pulse comes through. And what you have to do, give me a little pointer here, is let me get it right here. Let me turn around. Get you a small drill bit. And what you want to do, I'm not too good. Y'all be patient with me because I'm not too coordinated with this camera stuff. You want to drill a small hole straight through there. I know my phone's not, it's kind of blurry, but you want to drill a hole straight through here. And where you're going is this chamber right here. Oh, I undropped it. Maybe this is better here. Yeah. What you're doing is you're drilling a hole through this chamber here to this small chamber right here. That's where you're going to get your pulse from, this small chamber right here. So you're drilling from here, that direction, small hole, and take your time and go straight through there. So this part is done. Once you have that done, there's your internal pulse. Now you got to come to your carburetor, and you're going to have to do a little modification to your pulse right here. And the reason why, and I'm not sure why it's like this, but the hole is not a complete sealed hole. It's got a notch in the side. So what you have to do is you get you some tape in here and some JB Weld, and kind of JB will fill that little gap in with some JB Weld. Don't worry about it. If you plug this hole up a little bit with some JB Weld, you can dig it out with something like this tool here. You can just dig it out. But just kind of JB Weld it a little bit. Let it dry real good and sand it down where you got a good flat surface around that port. And that's it. That's it. And then you're good to go. I don't know if it'll, but you're good to go after that. And your linkage will hook straight up to it. The only thing you'll have to do is you're going to have to make you a idle screw. What I'm going to do is drill an idle screw through this plate right here, and to make an idle. And you're going to have to flip the choke around. If you're going to use your choke, you're going to have to flip it around. And other than that, it runs fine. I ran it yesterday, and it worked beautiful. And but it's a quick fix. I mean, it's not hard. I mean, I probably piddled with it for an hour and got this carburetor working on it. Like I said, I don't know if they make an aftermarket carburetor for these Pro Max, but I do know they make a lot of aftermarkets for the stihl 041. And so there you go. I hope this may help somebody that likes these old vintage saws and likes these little McCullochs. I know I do. And I like the Pioneers, and I got some little tricks. I kind of showed one earlier on the coils that I got running on 2 of them on some of my other videos if y'all want to dig up on that. All right, fellas, y'all have a good evening, and I'll give y'all some updates on that 200 Mac with that 3rd port that I had to drill out. I'll give y'all some updates on it whenever I get it running. Y'all have a good one.